What's going down? I'm Donald Nelson with Supreme Confidence, and you're listening to today's episode of the In the Klutch podcast, focusing on 2018-19 Milwaukee City Conference girls basketball, brought to you on the Confidence in the Klutch network. Whether it's the game of basketball or the game of life, you got to have confidence in the clutch. Practice makes confidence. Pressure makes diamonds. Stay sucker free. Keep it a buck. Stay woke or get out. Gold ball or bust. Stay sucker free, y'all. There's a lot of suckers out here. A lot of them in these gyms. Listen on Apple Podcasts and Google Play Music and at confidenceintheclutch.podbean.com. Subscribe, rate, and review. Hit that bell button to get notifications of new episodes. And when we go live, it's important. Visit us on Facebook at Confidence in the Klutch. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at KITK. At Confidence in the Klutch, we are fear more than love, but never hated. Like always, we'll be bringing you quality content with strong opinions and facts. Let's get into it, y'all. The confidence starts now. 3, 2, 1. Confidence on 3, in the clutch on 6. 1, 2, 3.
Confidence.
4, 5, 6.
In the clutch.
Confidence in the clutch.
Yeah. Week 2, in the Klutch podcast. Milwaukee City girls basketball, live and direct. It's your host, legendary coach Donald Nelson. Confidence in the Klutch presents In the Klutch City Conference Girls Game of the Week. City Girls Game of the Week features a great matchup once a week from the Milwaukee City Gold Division. Expert analysis and some play-by-play commentary from legendary coach Donald Nelson of Confidence in the Klutch. Break down the games and stats, exclusive interviews and players and coaches and much more. Gold ball or bust, y'all. Today's game, Friday, December 14th. We had the Lady Tigers of Riverside at the Lady Hawks of Milwaukee School of Languages. Riverside comes in at 2-3, 1-0 in conference. They're averaging 53 points per game. They're giving up 65 on the defensive end. Their last game was a 64-58 win, surprisingly, versus Washington. Aaleyah Jones was the leading scorer for Riverside with 25 points. Deborah Johnson led with 3 rebounds, and Aaliyah also led with 4 assists. 3 rebounds, the highest on the team. Hope them stats is right. Aaleyah Jones, for the season, is averaging 17 points. Jaden Claypool is averaging 16 points. Sydney Scruggs, freshman phenom, is averaging 11. Let's take another MSL side, y'all. MSL, 3-1 on the season, 0-1 in conference. They averaging 70 points per game, giving up 32 points per game. Last game, a 64-52 loss to number 1 with sports ranking, Journal Sentinel Area's ranked King. Rufus King, that is. Jayla Butler was the leading scorer for MSL with 15 points. Cassie Butler led with 20 rebounds. Jaycia Cunningham led with 5 assists. Jaycia Cunningham is on the 10 freshmen are the next big names in area high school basketball list, according to the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Once again, Jaycia Cunningham out here saying the game is in good hands because the Cunningham is out here balling. Jaycia averaging 13.5 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 6.3 assists. Deanna Rax transfer from Dominican. I don't know. Looks like her sister should have came with her too. I think I would have made her. I don't know. Averaging 13.5 points per game, 6.3 rebounds per game, and 1 steal per game. And Jayla Butler, another talented freshman, 12.2 points per game, 5.7 rebounds per game, and 3.7 assists per game. I got the keys. I got to get that instrumental for this part. The keys to the game. Riverside, ball pressure and depth. Okay? Put pressure on the ball. They're going to press them because they got a freshman backcourt. If that's what you're going to do that. Riverside has the depth. You're talking about an MSL team with only 7 players who took King to war and only lost by 12 points. You got to do that math. King got MC Hammer Band on the bench. You know what I mean? They got 80 coaches and 100 players, right? Because their school is a big school. They got the numbers, you know what I'm saying? And they got everything to sustain that. With school at MSL, you know, you're trying to build the numbers. Kids don't want to play. It's hard for the principal to let kids in the building, but everybody else is. So therefore, it is what it is. You ain't got no language, you ain't getting in MSL. That's the hard part. What middle school you know teaching a language? Do the math. What K-8 you know is teaching the language? Do the math. So how you getting kids in MSL? It's messed up. I got the keys for MSL, coaching and confidence. Listen, you got two great coaches on there, both the Cunninghams, okay? John and Alina, great coaches, man. Both sides of the ball. You feel me? John is a great offensive coach. Doc is a great defensive coach. You put them together, boom. It is what it is. Coaching their daughter. So it is what it is, man. And the confidence, they got it. To go to King on on teacher appreciation night, and to lose by 12 points with 7 players on the roster, you do that math to the number 1 team in the state. I don't know. I think it's great things to come from MSL, y'all. But we finna jump into the game. You know what I'm saying? This part is pre-recorded. I ain't gonna say who I think win. We're just gonna go through the game and give you expert analysis, what I saw after the game. We're gonna get to it, man. So I hope y'all enjoyed. Appreciate everybody that downloaded. Remember, y'all can catch me on Facebook /Conference in the Klutch. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at KITK. Hopefully I can get some flicks out there tonight. It's going to be kind of hard because I got to keep stats. I got to record. I got to do that. Yeah, I mean, until I get somebody with me to help me out with some of this, man. So we're going to try to get some good links, man. If not, I catch them afterwards. I know I'm going to get a great picture tonight because my girls from Riverside don't even know I'm coming, y'all. So you already know.
Confidence in the clutch.
Man, what an exciting game. A little sloppy. It's December, though. What do you expect, though? Here's my disclaimer. Here's a disclaimer, y'all. I did go ahead and record the game. I did an hour and 10 worth of stuff, but it was like, oh man, it was so many files. I'm gonna get into the breakdown of the game, and I think I'm just gonna do it like this because, like, I want to do it the right way. I ain't in the NBA. I ain't getting paid for this, so this is all out for the love of the game, right? So. Like trying to do the stats and record and all on the iPad and no. We can't do that. So just go to the game, enjoy the game, and see what it is. So what we're going to do is do this week in the city, right? Do the podcast a little differently or whatever and do it like that. Because I said it was too much and it was too – I would have to edit it like mad crazy, yo, because all the gaps because there were 63 combined free throws. So I had to pause and stop, make one, misses the first, makes the first, misses the first of the 1-and-1 and all. Yeah, I mean, like, oh, anybody doing all that. It sounds slick, but I ain't doing all that. I got 6-7 other podcasts to do. I can't spend all my time editing that, yo, and I'm getting no love in these streets for it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that did download the first one, the Vincent King game. And everybody that downloaded the preview. I see them stats, yo. So I see them downloads. So tell everybody else. Tell the little homies to download. Little homies know I look out for them in the city. So it is what it is. So right now I'm just gonna give y'all my opinion until I get a staff. So what we say, LMMFAO. Y'all know what that means. So here we go. Ooh, I need my music in the background too. I don't know what's cracking. I don't need no music right now. I get it together. Yeah, I need anybody that knows to listen to any of my podcasts. I'm always throwing some classic beats on, some new beats on, whatever. So let me just get something in the background. I can't talk like this, even though it is what it is. I should be able to. Let me see. All right. Yeah, let's do this. There we go. I can do this. Set the tone. All right, y'all. So, damn, I'm doing all types of stuff, y'all. Y'all got to work with me. It's crazy right now, yo. I'm bugging out. I don't know what's going on. Like, my whole screens and all that just disappeared on the player. Anyway, MSL lost the game 61-71 to Riverside. Leading points for MSL was Kennedy Williams had 17, Aaleyah Jones had 26 for Riverside. And unfortunately, that's a lot of the only stats we have because the other stats weren't put up yet. So, you know, it is what it is. I know how it is as a coach. To get people to do the stats and to do them right and all that, and sometimes you forget to put them on. So I just don't want our girls to get slighted because we're not putting the stats on. You know what I mean? Like, we got to make sure we do that because everybody else got theirs up. We don't have ours up. And then when it comes to these awards, it ain't looking right. So we got to make sure we representing for ours to put their stats up. So please, all the coaches in every conference, every team, put y'all stats up of your players because they are important. Trust me. A lot of kids have got slighted over them stats. So let's get to it. So in the game, Riverside came out pressing in the token 22, MSL in the 55, which is a Vivian Stringer Rutgers defense, a diamond. No real pressure from either team. MSL dribbled through it instead of passing through it, which led to unforced turnovers and easy layups for Riverside. When MSL did their little pump fakes and their guards, when JC and Jayla Butler, when they pump fake, Riverside players jumped up and then they got right on easily. When they dribbled through them, Riverside got them turnovers and them steals. So you can't dribble through a press. You got to pass through it anyway, unless you have an elite ball handler. MSL just didn't rotate on their defense and allow girls to run by them. Like, it was just simple rotation, boom, cut them off. It didn't happen, so then they would run by them sometimes when they were in the full court, 55. Both teams, use fine-tuning this December. If they both went to half court, right, and did all their presses half court, they might have fared a little bit better with their full court presses. Because neither one was like just straight out jump at you. I'm scared of you, right? It was more of, I can see those freshmen from MSL being more just scared because it was that situation, right? But not because of the pressure. Because I was looking at the game, like, there was no weak side with Riverside and there were no hands up. Same stuff they did when I was coaching. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get y'all hands up. I don't know. Some girls just don't get their hands up. It is what it is. So it don't even matter where they at, what school they go to, or who coaching. They just don't put their hands up. Y'all all know that, all the fans, all the players know. But if they went to half court, it would have limited the amount of fast breaks and fouls they committed possibly on Riverside's part. Aaleyah Jones is a handful. And coming up at the end, you're going to hear a special one-on-one with Aaleyah Jones. She's a handful. Hands down, she's the best point guard in the conference. Last year, I knew it. Last year, I told my staff, like, that's the one. That's the one who needs to be running our one. Because she's a smaller Amani Wilborn in my estimation. She's Amani Wilborn with a J right now, though. You know what I mean? I'm telling y'all got to watch that girl play. She's a smaller Amani Wilborn. That's all she is. So that girl can do it all. She got it left, right, however you want it. Pull up, however you want it. She got it. She got everything you want. Okay, she had 24 in the first half. You know what I'm saying? Drive to the basket, pull up in the paint, tray ball, whatever. It was all on. One sequence she had the ball on the left wing, right? And she backed up and she did a crossover like bow, bow. And then she shot the tray ball from the corner. I'm like, man, all net. I'm like, man, that girl look good, look real good. You know what I'm saying? I know schools are mad they didn't recruit her. I mean, I'm mad they didn't recruit her. I didn't even know who she was. Somebody said this girl is cold, go to Grand Tulsa. I didn't know she wanted to come. She coming to Riverside, talked to her granddad, like, man, we got practice tonight. Ooh, man, it was over in the summertime. You know what I'm saying? So, like, first day I saw her, oh, man, tie your shoes up, Leah. So, yeah, she's a handful. I don't even know how you defend her, to be honest with you. Because she's going to pull up on you. And she taking you to the rack, and you can't reach because she played too much 2K. So it's all good. So in order to beat Riverside, you must stop or limit her touches, period, point blank. She's second in conference in scoring, 25.5 points per game. One of only two players averaging 20 a game in conference, her and Kirkwood, Ariel Kirkwood for Vincent is first with 27.7 points per game. Two girls I had the pleasure of coaching. Kirkwood is a beast. She's a beast. We talked about it on a preview about Kirkwood and Roby and Clark and Perry Ellis. Now you got to throw Jones up in that joint. Them five girls, that's probably first team all conference right there. I ain't even think about it like that. Damn, that's probably first team. Roby, Clark, Kirkwood, Jones, and Perry Ellis. That probably was my first team anyway. Y'all, I'm probably just bugging out. All right, back to the game, y'all. Jaden Claypool also looked good when she was on the floor. She has to stay on the floor, right? Just the silly fouls, the mental that she got to stay on the floor. And she could finish too. She's got stronger. She's attacking the basket better. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. The backcourt of Jones and Claypool will wreak havoc for the next seasons to come in the city. Why? Because all the best guards are seniors. Washington, King, Vincent, Riverside, the best players are sophomores there, yo. You know what I mean? Like, you got to understand what that means. That means they finna be running things. You know what I mean? Thanks to your boy. So they finna be running things, period, point blank. They finna be running things. After this year's is anybody game. Some schools gonna have something to say about it. King always gonna get the best talent in the the city, because all the girls want to go to King. Their parents send them there, but then they don't take IB classes. Then they be like, oh man, you just send them for the education. Same thing in Riverside. Them kids don't be all there taking all honors classes. So you sending your kid to one of them schools without taking them honors classes, you sending them for the hoops. And it's cool, you send them for basketball. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right. Claypool, got to stay on the floor. If they get their player fouls under control of Riverside, they're going to be all right. Too many just silly fouls, okay? MSL shot 48 free throws at the game, 25 of 48 for 52%. They missed 23 free throws. If they make half of those, they win the game. Riverside was 9 for 15, 9 for 14. Man, I got 8 for 15 right here for 60%, whatever. Whenever a team makes more free throws than you attempt, you lose in my observations over the years. Once again, that's why when we play these suburban schools and we see what happens, and when we got all these fouls called on us because of the way the games is officiated in the city, then we play the suburban teams and they're calling it by the book. It's not that we're doing anything wrong. They're calling it by the book, what we get away with at our games. That's the problem. It's not them picking on us. It's not because it's black against white. It's because they calling it by the book at the law of the land. They are there to protect the integrity of the game, and they are supposed to call the game that is written in the book with the rules. So maybe that'll clear up some things about referees. That's why people never see me yell at referees when I was coaching. I talk with them and smile with them because it's the rule. I know the rules. So regardless of what parents say, that wasn't no foul, it was a foul because I know the rules. All right, so those fouls that Riverside was committing kept MSL in the game. Deanna Rax, Dee Rax, she's a player. Senior leadership at its finest. In order to win a state title, you got to have senior leadership. That's what we had in 2013. That's why we're the last ones to do it. We've had senior leadership. King has that senior leadership this year to get it done. Washington has that senior leadership to get it done. We can have 2 teams go upstate. We can have 3 because if MSL get their stuff together, they can go on a run. Senior leadership, right? Senior leadership at its finest. Every coach wants a senior like Rax, okay? If she makes those and 1 layups, MSL wins. Freshman Jayla Bartler was 9 of 20 from the free throw line. 9 of 20. That's a lot for a freshman to have to come to grips with trying to understand where she at the moment of the game and to make those free throws. If she makes half of her misses, MSL wins. Jaycea Cunningham, she was pressured all night. I mean, they elbowed the girl, tripped the girl. You know what I mean? She got hit in back of the head. You know what I'm saying? Just everything, just everywhere. Got slapped in her face. You know what I'm saying? If I'm watching the coach through my analytic coach's lens, seeing like Riverside keyed in on her to make sure she was frustrated. You know what I mean? And I would too if that's the main ball handler. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure she's very frustrated. And that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? But she handled it. She handled it very well. The thing is with Cunningham is that you have to know that you can never play a game and not have a field goal. Unless the box score is wrong, she didn't have a field goal. Her points from the free throw line. So, you know, but that once again, if we talking about a freshman in a game like that, so I mean, what do people think supposed to happen? You know what I'm saying? But she held her own, like she held her own against King in the previous game. So these freshmen are playing. Her and Jayla, they're going to be trouble. They're going to be trouble. Matter of fact, that might be the next best backcourt in the city behind Jones and Claypool. If you really think about it, that's the newcomers. We know what else we got out here, right? But we're talking about the newcomers that after these seniors graduate, you got Jones and Claypool at Riverside, and you got Butler and Cunningham at MSL. For real. Dope. Okay. Halftime, 49-29 Riverside, right? Riverside led by as much as 25 in the second half, and they decided to stall. Okay. This led MSL to get back at the game due to the foul disparity between the two, right? With the clock stop, MSL was able to claw back in and set up their press. It was a rough game. The girls played their butts off. There was this best sequence of the game. I wish I would have got up and snapped a picture. There was a loose ball, and two girls died on the floor for it. The ball got knocked out, and two more died on the floor, and then two more, and then about 7 girls on the floor. And that's when Cunningham had like hit her head or whatever. The hustle, the dedication, the determination. Everyone in that small gym should have applauded their efforts and gave all of them a standing ovation. That's what basketball is about. That extra, all them girls sacrificed for, y'all. MSL outscored Riverside 32-22 in the second half. MSL missed many layups, though. And many layups they were fouled on them was and ones, right? If they convert, we're having a different conversation today about who won the game. Right? Riverside moved to 500 on the season at 3-3, 2-0 in the conference. Okay, they're tied for first in conference with King. MSL 3-2 on the season, 0-2 in conference, fourth in conference, tied with Hamilton and Bayview. All right. The next time MSL and Riverside play each other is on Thursday, January 24th at Riverside. It's going to be interesting to see the growth of both teams. This is before Aaleyah will be able to play, so the MSL don't have to worry about that big. All right. So let's get into our week. You know what I mean, this is week 4 for me for In the Klutch, the girls basketball stuff, what I paid attention to. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, we got Hamilton 2-4, 0-2 in conference versus King 7-1, 3-0. Hamilton has a talented team. This is their first time playing King in years. We're gonna see what that look like. All right. We have Vincent 4-2, 2-1 in conference versus Riverside 3-3, 2-0 in conference. It's gonna be a great, great game. That's a game. That's really it. We got 2 games of the week. That's the In the Klutch game of the week right there. Thursday, we got a Milwaukee 2-5, 2-3 in conference versus Vincent. Friday, we had Dominican 3-3, 2-2 in conference visiting Washington. And Saturday, our second In the Klutch game of the week, Riverside versus Milwaukee Academy of Science with Shamira Williams, Marquette recruit Shamira Williams, with their talented freshman tandem down of Nakaya and Tanaya. Oh man. It is what it is. So, sources say, this is my segment, y'all. Sources say that some of these schools got down-ass engineers. The school I work at, right? I see the engineer came out on a little small Zamboni. When I was at Riverside, we used to beg them. Somebody wouldn't let the engineers do it. I don't know why. You know what I mean? But somebody wouldn't let them do it for the girls' game, but then they used to get done for the boys' game sometimes. I don't know. But some of these schools got some down-ass engineers, especially when you got a wood floor. That's when you have gym classes in your building today. You got to have that done, yo. You got to have that done. So shout out to all the girls of the city. Y'all know Coach Nelson's got love for you. Listening to In the Klutch, game of the week, and weekly review. Notable games, team and player performances, and records from the city conference. The current weekly schedule, y'all. Pre-game. I mean, do what I got to do. Yo, it's all for the girls, man. Giving back, man. The game has been good to me, so I got to give it back, y'all. So just remember, City Girls Game of the Week features a great matchup once a week from the Milwaukee City Gold Division. Expert analysis and some play-by-play commentary from legendary coach Donald Nelson. The commentary is done. We're done with that. Coverage includes breakdown of stats, exclusive interviews with players and coaches, and much more. Now I'm finna get into the Aaleyah Jones part of the interview.
Confidence in the Klutch.
Welcome back to the In the Klutch podcast on the Confidence in the Klutch Network. Blessed to have guard, sophomore Aaleyah Jones on the line with me. Couldn't get to her after the game, but I got to her because I got to connect to get to her. Aaleyah, first of all, thank you for joining me right fast. Ask you a couple questions. Yeah. All right. Friday's night game in the 71-61 win at MSL. That was a good win. Great performance by you, though, at that game. How did it feel to be on fire like that on the court?
To be honest, I felt shocked that I was actually, scoring the way I did. Because that was the game before that was my breakout game, but I didn't expect for me to do it back to back. So when And basically, I kept scoring back to back and stuff like that. It basically boosted my confidence, saying that I can do this and keep going, like, with the way I'm playing and stuff like that.
Right. Now, the game before that, that was against Washington, and that was a game where you made, like, every shot. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think I went, like, 8 for 8 and, like, 6 for 6 at the line.
Nice. So, looking at the stats, when it comes to looking at your own stats, what's the 3 things you look for in the box score, or even your whole team, not just your own thing? But when you grab at a box score, you look on Wish Sports. What's the first 3 things you look at?
As a team, I probably look at rebounds or fouls or, like, assists or to see how much we passing and stuff like that. But as myself, I probably look at my steals and then my fouls and then my points.
Okay, no doubt. Assists, fouls, and points. See, that's it. Last thing she's looking at is the points, seeing how much you're getting people off, making sure you ain't hacking. Appreciate. So, looking at the stats for the conference right now, most people got 2 games in. You're the second leading scorer in conference with 25.5 points per game. Second to Ariel Kirkwood at Vincent at 27.7, whom you face off tomorrow at Riverside. What are you expecting at tomorrow's game?
Honestly, I feel like tomorrow's going to be a good game. I just feel like everybody going to go out and play that game, and we're going to see how things go.
Absolutely. For the season, Mr. Gold Ball and Bust, I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? It would be Gold Ball or Bust with me. How far do you think your team can go this year?
Right now we're doing really good, but when we got our big deck, we got the transfer that came last year, but she can't play until January. But I feel like when she joins the team, that will help our rotation a lot, because right now we need a consistent big. But I feel like when she joins the team, or when she actually starts playing with us, we might make it far into the playoffs.
Yep, that big. Man, Aaleyah, when she gets there, she's going to make y'all better. I was thinking about it today, like, wait a minute, they playing without Aaleyah, and Aaliyah's putting up them type of numbers, but then also you get Beyonce the shooter coming back, and you get an athletic wing as Kayla. Man, I just, it's coming together. And you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a good thing to watch. Y'all going to be very exciting and dangerous, and I know y'all going to contend to make it upstate this year, Aaleyah. Thank you for coming on In the Klutch podcast. We finna take a break right fast, y'all.
Confidence in the clutch.
That was it, man. Superstar Aaleyah did her thing, yo. So y'all know what it is. You know what I mean, whether it's the game of basketball or the game of life, gotta have confidence in the clutch. Practice makes confidence. Pressure makes diamonds. Stay sucker free. Keep it a buck. Stay woke or get out. Gold Ball or Bust. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, and at confidenceintheclutch.podbean.com. Subscribe, rate, and review. Hit that bell button to get notifications of new episodes, and when we go live, it's important. Visit us on Facebook, Confidence in the Klutch. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at K and the K, y'all. Forgot about the YouTube. I don't know where the YouTube statement on here, though, but yeah. People that YouTube, we on YouTube as well. You know what I mean? So Confidence in the Klutch, we do a lot, but this is the In the Klutch podcast. Supporting, saluting, recognizing our great girls that play this game that we love called basketball in the city of Milwaukee, y'all. Confidence in the Klutch. 3, 2, 1. Confidence on 3, in the clutch on 6. 1, 2, 3.
Confidence.
4, 5, 6.
In the clutch.
Confidence in the clutch.